Hey guys, good morning. I had to like adjust the light going on because the sun is like, it's right there and it's bright. We are at the library book sale, the fill-a-bag. I think it's $6 now. It used to be fill-a-bag for $5, but now it's raised like everything else. It's $6 a bag. We haven't been here in a couple months, so I'm excited to see what we can find. Definitely going to try for the Stephen Kings, the Anne Rices, things that have a little bit more of a value. But I am a huge reader, so I'm also going to look for things that I personally want to read or things that I have read and I know are sought after on PangoBooks and on other book sites. I specifically sell most of mine on PangoBooks and Facebook Marketplace, but I also throw the Anne Rices and the Stephen Kings up on our Etsy stores. I don't know. It's freezing out, so I'm going to try to get in there before there is no standing room in the vestibule because I really don't want to stand outside. Dang it, I didn't make it. So I gotta stand in line outside. 3 more minutes. Oh, she's unlocking the door. No. Here we go. Stampede. It's a stampede. We go this way like the elderly people that we are. Okay, I did grab a whole bunch of Stephen Kings. Bunch of CDs. Cards. Don Henley. Okay, you got the CDs from here? Back to books. I found some really good CDs though, so I'm happy about that. A bunch of book of the months. Need so much Thomas books, but I don't like the little ones. I don't see any of the ones I need. Kids' DVDs always sell pretty well. I just gotta find ones that aren't absolutely destroyed. Yes. Cross your fingers. That is usually what they look like. I found another copy that's actually in decent condition. I didn't see any major damage. I'm gonna do one more kind of sweep through to make sure I didn't miss anything. This series is absolutely amazing, just so you know. See, I always miss one. Sucks, this copy is so beat up. That's actually a really good book. I already read it though. But I've not read Layla. How did I miss these? Wow, welcome to our haul. This is our $6 fill-a-bag media haul. And we spent $13.25 on everything. First off, I did realize that this copy of Beach Read is waterlogged, which is, I don't know, makes me love it even more. And I've yet to read this. I think I have a copy, so I'm going to go look on my shelf. If I do, I'm just going to switch it out and sell the good copy, if it is a good copy, and keep the one that has water damage. And yes, I do see my copy of Beach Read right there, so I'm going to see which one is better. This was my copy, and honestly, it seems fine. So I'll sell this one, and I'll keep the other one. I'm just going to kind of start at this end. We'll work our way to the left. we got a ton of CDs. Now, I have not gone through them. I have no idea what kind of condition the discs are in. But these were part of the fill bag sale. So we've got B.B. King and Eric Clapton Riding with the King, which is interesting. Most of these will go to the booth for $3 a piece, but stuff like this I'm going to look up and see if it's selling online. Rage Against the Machine. We've got Bob Seger, who is from Michigan. Yes. Got The Offspring. We've got Toto, Past to Present. We've got Korn, Issues, and I think that this is Pearl Jam. Yep. Pearl Jam, Vitology. We've got Blues Slide Guitar, B.B. King Live at the Regal. A Decade of Steely Dan, because I mean, who doesn't need that, right? I got 2 of the CD, I think. Correct review. This was Hootie and the Bluefish. Hootie and the Blowfish's first released album. And I know this because I just got done reading Darius Rucker's memoir, Life's Too Short. Highly recommend. It was super good. Okay, I'm sure everybody knows. Let's see if it's on this one. I think it is. Only Want to Be With You, which is number 4 on this album. I'm sure everybody knows Only Want to Be With You. Okay, my entire life, I thought the lyrics were endorphins make me cry. No. It's the dolphins. The dolphins make him cry. Like the Miami Dolphins make him cry. Anyway, that's the thing you now know. We've got Santana, Creed, My Own Prison, Kiss Unplugged, more Hot Rocks, The Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton, Reptile, The Wallflowers, B.B. King, another Hootie and the Blowfish, James Taylor, Korn, Follow the Leader. This is supposed to be another correct review. Is it just different? I don't know what's going on there. Oh, there she is! Hi! You want to say hi to the people, Pipes? Pipus Maximus. Piper. What? You want to say hi too? Yes. They're all involved. Except for the youngsters. They're all there chewing on each other. Alright, we've got Meatloaf. We've got Beck. No Doubt. The Best of Jethro Hall. Aerosmith. 9 Inch Nails. Sheryl Crow. Best of Miles Davis. Train. Oasis. REO Speedwagon. Elton John. Leon Russell. The Union. I don't know that. Melissa Etheridge. The Cars. Don Henley. Creed. Human Clay. Our Lady Peace. We ended up with 2 of these, the Best of Buffalo Springfield. I think I grabbed one and Rich grabbed one, so we ended up with 2. The Steve Miller Band, Ted Nugent, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Okay, and there is like a family tie somewhere with Stevie Ray Vaughan and Rich's family, with his uncles. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think this is what the deal is. One of his uncles had a recording studio in his basement, and this is like a true story. I've heard it from his grandmother, but Stevie Ray Vaughan was like friends with his uncle, and they used to party and like record music or something. I'm pretty sure that's the situation. We've got the Smashing Pumpkins, Asia, Stone Sour, which I might keep and listen to for a sec. Duncan Sheik, which I haven't heard of since the 90s. Steppenwolf, Blue Dog Records, Masters of the Blues. I think that's all of the CDs. I grabbed 5 DVDs. And I think most of them are kids' movies because they destroy them. And I know this because I had one. And my gosh, he would get stuck on a movie. I'd have to watch it like 700 times. And the disc would get destroyed and I'd have to rebuy it like 3 or 4 times. So we've got Cars. This was actually one of them that got destroyed like 3 or 4 times. Keegan absolutely loved this movie when he was little. Now he's 18 and I never see him. We've got Frozen. And I think I'm the only person on the planet that still to this day has not seen Frozen. Nope. I have seen Enchanted, though. And, of course, we've got A Christmas Story. Me and Rich just had a date night last week. Our local theater, which they do $5 rewinds, and you can go watch the older movies on a big screen at the theater. And they are doing Christmas movies right now. And we went and watched A Christmas Story on the big screen in the theater. It was so much fun. I love my husband. He's pretty great. Now, we've got all these books to go through. The Silent Patient, I have read. I wasn't a huge fan, but it sells pretty well. Every time I list it, it sells within like 2 weeks for like $4 or $5, depending on condition. And this one seems pretty swell. Anybody read this? I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on stuff like this. I have a tendency to not like books that everybody else is like, oh my god, that was the greatest book ever. And I'm like, really? Were you reading the same book I read? Because I thought it sucked. That's kind of this one. Everybody freaking loved it. And I'm like, are you guys reading the same book I'm reading? Because this was boring as hell to me. Anyway, got that one. Small Great Things, I have also read. Her books are like 50-50 for me. Some of them I absolutely freaking love. A couple of them have made my top 10 lists. And we're almost at the end of the year, and I've read 79 books this year. My Goodreads goal is to hit 85 by the end of 2024. Small Great Things is actually loosely based on a nursing staff out of Flint, Michigan, which I thought was kind of neat. So there's that. James Patterson, Alice Cross Must Die. This is part of a series. I do have multiple books from the series for sale, so I grabbed this one just to kind of throw in with the pile. J.D. Robb, Memory and Death. We gotta check my shelf, because I don't know if I have this or not. Welcome to my J.D. Robb shelf. I have to check and see where it would even fit in. I'm also starting to get the, what is her name? Gosh darn it. Is it Stephanie Plum? Sorry all my stuff is dusty. I live on a dirt road, and everything just gets dusty. Once I'm done with the J.D. Robb series, I'll probably start the Stephanie Plum series. I'm going to check real quick on my list and see where this fits in. Welcome to my list. Okay, so it's right after Origin and Death. We hit Memory and Death. And boom, I did not have this one. There's Origin and Death right there, and it skips to Born and Death. That makes me happy. Okay. Yes, we hear you. Why are you being grumpy? You want to be a part of? You can be a part of. And say hi to everybody? Oh, yeah? Yeah? You complaining? Okay, enough. Hold, please. Rich is leaving, so I think that's why she's having a fit. I grabbed a bunch of the Book of the Month Club books, and I don't know any of them but one. If any of you have read any of these, let me know down below. I'd like to hear, what you thought of them. The Return of Ellie Black, Amico Jean. I did read this one, and it was actually really good. I quite liked it. The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis. Recommended by me. The Unsinkable Greta James. A novel. See, don't even start working. Don't you dare start working. Once There Were Wolves. And Queen of Thieves. There can only be one. That's what I meant to say. So those are the books of the month that I grabbed. I usually do okay with those for like $5 a piece. I did get some Colleen Hoovers, which I don't know how I missed the first time I looked in those boxes. But I grabbed Layla, which I'm going to keep. I have not read that yet. This is not a Colleen Hoover, but it's the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which I've heard was really good, but I've yet to read. I don't know. Anybody have thoughts on that one? Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This made my top 10 for last year. Oh my god, I loved this book so much, and I heard that they are turning it into a movie. So I'm pretty excited about that, and that will be in the store pretty quick since I've already read it. Also read 11/22/63. This is a behemoth of a novel. I loved it. This is my all-time freaking favorite Stephen King novel. Oh my gosh. like, I never reread books, and this is one that I might actually reread at some point in my life. Just, it's absolutely my favorite. Plus, I have, like, a little thing with JFK and the Kennedy family. Like, I'm a bit obsessed. And that's what 11/22/63 follows. It's, the assassination of JFK. It's just, it's so freaking good. Oh. Alright, we've got the drawing of the 3, which is part of the Dark Tower series. I have not read the Dark Tower series. I am in line, I guess. My best friend has tattoos from this book. She absolutely loves this series. She's a Stephen King fanatic, so is my dad. Dean Koontz, the husband. We have your wife. You can get her back for $2 million cash. Yeah. I don't know. Anybody read it? This one I might just put up for sale. We've got Memnoch the Devil, which I already have listed, I'm fairly sure, so this one might get tagged and taken to the booth, along with From a Buick 8, which, again, if I would have noticed that I grabbed it, I would have put it back. This is one that I just have a hard time getting rid of, but I don't think there's currently a copy for sale at the booth. And if there is, I just took it up there. So I have to look back at my footage from the last booth video and see which Stephen Kings I have up there and fill the gaps. I know I don't have Mr. Mercedes. I haven't had a copy of Mr. Mercedes in a while. This is another one of his trilogies, and I have not read it. No clue. Needful Things. I cannot wait to read this book, but I am reading Stephen King's in order of publication, so I've got a while before I get there. We also got another copy of 4 Past Midnight, another copy of Desperation, and another copy of Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I have read this, but I read it a lot, like, in the 90s, like, a long frickin' time ago, maybe early 2000s. I couldn't tell you anything. It'll be interesting when I reread that, if I remember any of the stories on that. Dean Koontz, 77 Shadow Street. I didn't even check to see what this one was about. I liked the key on the cover. That's how I pick books. The Pendleton stands on the summit of Shadow Hill at the highest point of an old heartland city. A Gilded Age palace built in the late 1800s as a tycoon's dream home. Almost from the beginning, its grandeur has been scarred by episodes of madness, suicide, mass murder, and whispers of things far worse. But since its rechristening in the 1970s as a luxury apartment building, the Pendleton has been at peace for its fortunate residents. A successful songwriter and her young son, a disgraced ex-senator, a widowed attorney, and a driven money manager. Among them, the Pendleton's magnificent quarters are a sanctuary, its dark past all but forgotten. I feel like that's not going to stay that way. But now, inexplicable shadows caper across walls. Security cameras relay impossible images. Phantom voices mutter in strange tongues. Not quite human figures lurk in the basement. Elevators plunge into unknown depths. With each passing hour, a terrifying certainty grows. Whatever drove the Pendletons' past occupants to their unspeakable fates is at work again. Soon, all those within its boundaries will be engulfed by a deadly tide from which few have escaped. Ooh. That actually sounds really good. I am into the ghost stories. Whispers, anybody read that? And we got a copy of Gerald's Game, which I have to look and see if I have one listed or not, because I cannot offhand remember. So, I've got more stuff to do. I just love to make my life hard. The ones that I'm keeping, I have to figure out where to put, because I have no shelf space, and I can't put anything on or near the floor, because Leona will eat them. I have to go back and look at footage, see which one of these Stephen King books. I know I just took a copy of Nightmares and Dreamscapes. These will all get listed. So these will be on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and on Etsy, in case you were wondering. I'm going to go through the CDs. Most of them will get tagged for the booth, but like I said, there will be a couple that will end up online. If there's anything specific out of any of the stuff that you're interested in buying or reading, or would like me to read and tell you if it sucks or not, feel free. Let me know. I'm into it. So, on that note, guys, I'm going to sign you off, and I will see you on the next. Later.